All right, what's going on, everybody? It is me, the Gaming Pig, and yeah, I know it's been a while since I made a video. I made a YouTube short actually on these Fanta cans, uh, pretty recently, if you guys saw that. But it's been a while since I've done a actual video. Well, obviously today is a very special day. I'm about 5 hours away from going to see the Five Nights at Freddy's 2 movie, and we did a vlog for the first one, so we thought, why not? Let's do another one. And then we'll do kind of an out of theater, spoiler free reaction review. And then later on in the video, I will do it. I will go into spoilers. Of course, you guys can skip out on that if you haven't seen the movie. Please watch it for yourself because I already know that the critics are very harsh on it. Audiences seem to be liking it though, so please just go watch it yourself. Don't let someone else's opinion impact yours. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and see this movie now. So see you on the flip side.
It was cinema. Alright, super brief, out of theater reaction, no spoilers. I loved it. There was so much for the fans in this one. It was amazing. Go see it for yourself. Anyway, I'll talk about spoilers in the next part. We'll see you. Alright guys, so it's been like a little bit. We got out of the theater. I am back to kind of talk about it. So I've had a little bit to kind of talk about the movie with people and kind of get the sense of what people thought about it. Like, I am not kidding when I tell you, I thought it was really freaking phenomenal. And I need to watch my language because it was just that good. I could really, I could, except I didn't say fudge, you know what I meant, by that. But, yeah, it was really, really good. This one was made for the fans, and you could tell this. And I think that's just again, I'll go. This will be a little bit of an extension to my spoiler-free out of theater thoughts. So there'll be a section where I'll talk about some spoilers, but just reiterating some non-spoiler points. Scott wrote this, and you can tell, and it was beautiful. It was really made for the fans. Um, there were so many moments that I want to talk about, but I won't until the spoiler section real quick. Uh, but that I was just like, oh my god, they're doing this. They're actually doing this. And frankly, I thought the plot was actually very engaging, and I thought it brought back and a lot of things from the previous film that I think worked very well. And it also kind of expanded the characters in some cool, unique ways. And by the end of this film, without, again, I can't get into spoilers, the characters are at a different place and it makes you very excited for the next movie. Um, so yeah, I thought the pacing was overall very good. I mean, I was actually never bored during this movie, so that is a positive, for sure. It was, I wasn't particularly horrified by this movie, but they definitely brought the horror up. Particularly, and I won't get into spoilers, but the puppet was especially freaking horrifying. And the puppet was used very well. I don't really want to talk too much about why, but man, they incorporated so much from the lore that only a Fnaf enthusiast would really get, or I mean, well, a general audience member may understand it, but a Fnaf fan can go, "Oh my gosh, that's what they're doing," because you know what it will lead to, and I thought that was what was really good about it. I was in an entirely full theater practically, and the entire theater was very excited, so it was a fantastic experience. I had a great time. I can't speak enough about it. I loved it. This movie was like made for me. Personally, I thought it was better than the first one. I'm gonna say that right now. I thought the action was better. I thought the um, animatronics were even cooler. There were some that didn't get as much screen time as I would have liked, but given you're dealing with like over 8 animatronics, I think they did pretty well. The voices for the animatronics that get voices, I thought were very good. Some interesting surprises that I'll talk about with those voices. But yeah, it was just really good. Right now, I'd probably give it a right now I'd give it a 9 out of 10. I mean, frankly, I'd probably give it a 10 out of 10. But just to say, like, it could be even more perfect next time. I'll say 9 out of 10. Again, I did just see it, but I really loved it. Like, I really did enjoy this movie. First time in a long time that I walked out of a movie and just was like jumping out, like really excited to talk about it and very thrilled with what I saw. So that's my non-spoiler thoughts. Now we're going to move into a little bit of spoiler discussion. I'm going to be careful not to yap for too long on this because otherwise we could be here for like another 30 minutes and I don't want to do that. So let's get into that. Okay, so let's get into spoilers. If you have not seen the movie, just leave. Like, seriously, go see it for yourself. Don't let me make you, I don't know what the word would be, force my opinion onto you. Watch it yourself, please, okay? But let's get into spoilers now. And I feel like the most natural place to start is the beginning of the movie. Because, man, the opening was incredible. It was such a tone setter. First of all, you get William, and he's like starting the animatronic performance, and he's like, "Are you ready to start the show?" And you just go 5, 4, 3, 2. Really got you like, oh my gosh, what's gonna happen? And I love that you get to meet Charlie Emily or Charlotte Emily, whatever she goes by. I heard Charlotte in the movie mostly, but it was so cool to see her and see that. Vanessa Afton, they were friends because their fathers were business partners. That was very cool. It was like a little piece of like fan headcanon that was cool to see on screen. But Charlie, I'm gonna call her Charlie, is missing her dad seemingly. He's busy in his work, and she catches something very suspicious happening where the yellow rabbit just like takes someone in. I was like, oh my gosh, they're doing that? That just got me like, I can't believe what they're doing right now. That was just so incredible and horrifying to see. That opening scene was great. And then obviously, she tries and saves the kid. I guess he wasn't actually hurt too badly because he gets back up and isn't murdered. So I guess he was probably like thrown on the ground or something like that. But Charlotte isn't so lucky. She gets stabbed to death, and the puppet raises up and takes her. And obviously, then she haunts the puppet and the entire pizzeria, which I really thought was so cool. The thought that the puppet is the one pulling the strings for the animatronics, the toy animatronics, and that aspect of the movie I liked because in the lore of the games, you're always like, okay, maybe the toys are possessed, but maybe it's just their advanced facial recognition software. I like that in the games. It's like, or in this movie, it was like, yeah, the puppet is the one who's controlling all the animatronics. I think that makes way more sense and works much better plot-wise. And it actually made the movie pretty much entirely about the puppet, which I like that it was focused on one angry ghost child who was just letting out her wrath, and doing so via various animatronics, Mangle, Toy Freddy, Toy Foxy, or Toy Bonnie, and Toy Chica. Speaking of, I thought their voices were great. I wanted to point out that Toy Freddy sounded an awful lot like Glamrock Freddy, which I loved. A very interesting choice, but I actually liked it a lot. What else is there to discuss? Oh yeah, Circus Baby is in this frickin' movie for 2 seconds. So, first of all, in that dream sequence, William was terrifying, man. But it was really, really cool that she's hiding in his workshop and she just sees Circus Baby. I'm wondering, are we gonna get more on that? Is that just a cameo? I mean, if so, that's fine. But I think that there's so much lore in there that they could expand upon that it has to happen at some point. It feels like a tease for something. I don't know if they're gonna have room for that in the next movie. Frankly, I think just focus on Springtrap in the next one. But yeah, that was really cool to see. And then we have to talk about the climax of the movie. So, Mike fights off the Wizards, the toys are going on a rampage. The toy animatronics then are narrowing in on, I believe it's Mike's house. And the puppet is there, and all of the toy animatronics are coming in just going to kill them. And you figure out that Michael Afton, which is the suspicious, mysterious security guard of the FNAF 2 location, is the one who's been influencing the toy animatronics to break free. And obviously he lets the puppet music box unwind at the beginning of the film, so that way they're all free, and even the puppet is rampaging, just trying to get out of there. Now the climax, we really have to talk about when they're at the house. So, all hope seems lost. The toy animatronics are narrowing in. And all of a sudden, as if like the Avengers are appearing out of the portals in Endgame, you get the original 4 animatronics, Freddy, Foxy, Bonnie, and Chica, fighting off against the toy animatronics, which was insane to watch. It was almost kind of hilarious, but also awesome. And then what I really loved was the children, after they saved Abby and Mike, they said, we can't do this anymore. We have to be set free. We have to go to heaven. And I loved that. That got me tearing up. That was really an emotional moment that I believed, because it was very powerful. It was really great to see. It was just such a surprise, and I loved that. And so anyway, all the toy animatronics get beat up and destroyed. And Mike is like, all right, screw this. I'm done with you, Vanessa. You've gotten like me involved in so many animatronics. You've got all this extra lore I never know about. At the beginning of the film, they seem to be kind of liking each other, going on a date, which was a funny point in the movie. But Mike's like, I'm done. You're dragging me and Abby into this way too much. I don't want any more part of this. And it also must be said that when the FNAF 1 animatronics are going to heaven, right before they do, the Golden Freddy kid reappears and says, "Hey, look, Mike, I can't keep guarding him anymore." And if you're a FNAF nerd like me, you know. And if you watch the last movie, you know that Golden Freddy was guarding William and was keeping William trapped in the spring lock suit. Well, now Golden Freddy's passing on. He's going to heaven. And Springtrap is free. And that leads us to the post-credit scene where they found one, a real one. And you see just a little bit of Springtrap. Well, you get a good shot, honestly. And it's like, oh man, you know what they're doing. The horror attraction people are looking for props, and they found one. Oh, so incredibly good. It has me so excited for this next movie. Also, another quick note, Vanessa's like possessed by the puppet now or something. I have a theory that she's going to end up becoming a Vanny-like character and will be evil and have to be turned back in the next film, but we'll have to see what happens with that. I'm gonna leave it there as far as our spoiler talk, because I could talk about this way more, and perhaps I will at some point, but there are just so many things I loved about this film, and it was so clearly made for the fans. I was completely satisfied. Don't let the critics make you think that this movie sucked. It was amazing, and especially targeted for the fans. It was made for us, not for someone who, is too critical to enjoy a fun movie and has no idea about any FNAF things. So go into it with your own fresh set of eyes, and I really hope that you guys enjoy the movie yourself. I had an absolute blast. I loved it. So thank you guys for going on this journey with me. Shout out to Sarah, the camera girl, who's been helping out with this vlog. It was really just an awesome night, and I love this movie. it made me so happy. So take care. Hope you guys have a great one. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.